Hey everybody, today is the 4th of April, almost at August 2021, and my name is Kevin, and this is your daily message and meditation or channeling, whatever you want to call it. I am happy to be here. A little bit late this morning. Again, I had technical difficulties, not getting online and connecting, but when I want to upload these photos like this, um, the Apple devices, sometimes they don't like to play along. But there you go. There are our three cards for today. The first one, which really is what we know for sure, the strengths that we have, the ability, that is the transformation card, Archangel Zadkiel, and the prayer that goes with it. That since this is from Angel Prayers deck by Kyle Gray. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me in the transformation from my past challenges. So this card, the heart of everything that is, or at least the strengths, what comes, is that even in transformation, you know that there is a higher power, greater power, angelic power, spiritual power at work all the time, helping you with whatever transformations and growth that you have. Excuse me while I do something with this microphone. I think I need to move it out the way a little bit so that I'm not obscured by it, but there you go. And the second card in our lineup is Joan of Arc. Now, this represents the heart of the matter, the blessings that you bring to the people that are in your life. And what I have to say about these two, when we go through our own period of growth and transformation, there's a great deal of us that must go inward to really take a look at what does need to be changed. We sometimes, myself particularly, reach this junction when something occurs, typically a trigger, a feeling, a thought that is unusual from the regular. And I'm going to say that we are, for the past 6 months at least, 9 months if I'm really being honest, in this big transformation that it seems that the masses are climbing out of, looking for ways to do things the way they did before and not willing to listen to a new way of being, of moving forward. The last card in our trilogy is the challenge that we face. And when you read all these cards together and you put the message together, which is what my job is, to say to Spirit, let me make sense of these three together, and collectively, what is that energy? What is that message saying? So it basically tells me that the message for today is that you've accepted the transformation and you know that you're in growth, that you're in flux, that you're moving in the right direction to have change happen, and that likely much of that change has to do with things that you can't necessarily count on, which sounds rather vague. So let me land it. It might be you've changed the way you're consuming food. It might be that your reliance upon material matters, which is what Buddha talks about, has changed. Things that were incredibly important to you are not as important as they were before. And your transformation into the new person that you're becoming is supported by desires from a higher place, desires from a spiritual place, desires to work back to source energy, as opposed to the mundane I've got to change the furniture, I've got to change the artwork, I've got to change the landscaping, I've got to change the wardrobe. That material transformation. No, this is more of an emotional, spiritual, physical transformation. And I would go so far as to say it's an alignment with what your higher self is saying. When you add the energy of Joan of Arc, the voice of truth, you can't really avoid the truth. And during a transformation, if the transformation and the changes and the growth are not for our highest good, they're simply not going to happen. So, what you're finding at the heart of the matter, in the middle of this, is that there is an inner wave, river, vein of strength, of defiance, of no matter what, this is going to happen. And what I'm going to say about the blessing in the heart of Joan of Arc is that this woman, legend has it, defended Charles VII against the British takeover and was burned at the stake for it. This is to say that in your transformation, you may come across people from your past that are wanting you to return to old habits, that are surprised by the changes that you're making, and they are maybe not aligned with what you're saying, what you're doing, or confused or perhaps alarmed. Look at this as their curiosity and not their complaint. When people look at us in a different way, they see us and they hear us. And sometimes the past that we are moving from has to be healed and heard for the future, the new way of being to come to light. The final card, which is either the challenge or the help or the outcome or the outlook, is the Master Jesus, the Master Buddha. Basically, in the Buddha tradition, there's a belief that the power and art, essence of the divine, that higher voice of creation, lives within us, all of us, is anchored by the soul through the spirit. And the Buddha essence seeks enlightening, seeks wisdom, seeks simplicity, seeks ease, looks for love, looks for acceptance, and creates this feeling of an elevated sense of all of those feelings, all of that coming together. So when I add the Master Buddha to Joan of Arc and Archangel Zadkiel in this trilogy of a reading for you for today, and it might extend into the next few days, all I can say is that you are emerging away from a need for material change, for a need for egoic change, for a need to be seen and heard as that important person, and you are coming into your own as a way of saying, I've arrived, and the changes that I am making are good ones, that my boundaries have been set, and I'm looking forward with a renewed sense of confidence in whatever endeavor that takes place. One thing I'd like for you all to remember is to be mindful of the planet. Stay grounded. Stay in, you can be in your truth. You can be in your desires. Oops, I didn't mean to show that. But there you go. There's it. You can be in your truth. You can be in your desires. You can be in that state of change. This is now in the way, isn't it? I didn't see it when that half. There you go. That's better. You can certainly be in that modality of change. Know that there are going to be folks around us that don't quite get it, not quite up for it. Especially the more you adopt it and the more you adopt things with confidence. There's one saying that comes up over and over and over again that I got several years ago, that comparison is the thief of joy. Um, Complacency is basically a couch that most people never get up from. It's just comfortable. Well, you know, just accept how things are now and know that they won't always be that way. What I would urge all of you to hear is, you've got to feel these feelings. You have to have this inner awareness in order to heal from anything that doesn't serve you. So, for example, if you haven't listened to any of the inner awkwardness, pain, difficulty, if you haven't sort of cleaned up your act when it comes to saying you're sorry, when you know that perhaps you didn't intend to hurt somebody but they got hurt anyway, those are the things that you heal from. Well, now that you heal it and you discard it and you move from it, what do you do next? The key is to replace it with that higher learning, that higher wisdom, put back in, because you can't keep taking out. You'll become empty. And I know for sure in my own world, when there is a removing of things, whether it's obstacles, cupboards, cleaning, cleansing, whatever that is, there is a period of emptiness. In that period of space, if you will, creating that space, let's just say, put it in practical terms, maybe you went through a closet and you went through clothes you haven't seen, worn, had, and those clothes might have represented a time in your life, a place of status. It could have been that favorite top that you wore, a shirt, a tie, a jacket, a pair of slacks, a skirt, a dress, a cocktail dress, that represented who you were at a time in your life that you are no longer that person. And we'll just say that you go through all these clothes, you donate them, you give them to folks who could use them, and now you have this closet of maybe 4 or 5 outfits. That's a lot. You can do a lot with 4 or 5 outfits. Instead of rushing out and saying, oh, now I get to buy new clothes, different clothes, look at, what do my clothes say about me? How do they represent my life? And how do I want them to represent my life moving forward? Those answers will garner you the kind of clothes you want to replace the old clothes with. A reason, a purpose, a need. I think we're all moving into an environment, a society that says we want to be bigger, we want to be more, but we want to do more with less, and becoming less and less dependent upon material gain, material wealth, material things. I would say probably throughout the balance of 2021, we might be losing our identity in a way of, well, who we thought we were, and replacing it to who we really are. We will be replacing the fake, put it on a mask, show everybody that we can do this, we could do that, we have it together. And what's going to show up is the authentic person of who we are. That person that really is around when the cameras aren't rolling. That person who's really not afraid to be vulnerable, to say, I don't have this. I'm not as confident as I was, instead of faking it until they make it. So the era and the days of, let's just put on a big old fake show, let's just have people believe all of this nonsense, that's over. Who you are today, your authentic transformation, Zadkiel that came to say, you're in the middle of transformation, say thank you for it. Joan of Arc that says, listen, I've done the work, I've walked the talk, I've done it, I've got it, I'm doing it. Listen, I've the voice of truth. And then we have Master Buddha that says, yes, you are aware and awake to something that is completely new and different about yourself. All of that keeps us grounded, balanced, without any kind of conflicting things that happen. Sometimes you might be in a situation where partnerships that you've known for a long time are either growing with you or they're not. In all of any transformation, Each and every personal relationship you've had with other people has to shift too, because you've shifted. And if the others are following and shifting along with it, you can support their growth through your own experiences. If they're not, I don't know how you sustain continual growth, because what you've done is lifted yourself up from the couch of comfort and you've walked forward and you're in a whole new way of being. And with that said, let's read our weekly thing from Melody Beatty and then meditate. I feel like our meditation today will be more of a reflection and less of a channeling message. This afternoon, 2 o'clock Eastern, I'll do my Soul Path Sunday. It's a session where I can pull some cards for individuals and specifically answer a question and go more into how that might work, how that might show up. It would be more like an interactive type of session. So if you're interested in tuning in, 2 o'clock, there's a link on the Facebook page. It's Zoom. And I'll post this to Facebook so you can find it. All right, let's go to the 4th of April, 2021. And the subject of today's journaling, which is Melody Beatty's book, Wait for Timely Action. Watch the surfer as he works his way out to sea. See him watching the waves, waiting for the right moment, the right timing, the right swell. Sometimes the wave comes quickly, sometimes he has to tread water patiently for a long time, waiting and watching before he can ride the wave. Learn to ride the waves of energy in your life. Learn to wait for the right time to take action. Learn to wait until your senses, your emotions, your body and the universe gives you a signal. Gives you the signal you need to say yes. You have the list of things you want to do. But soon you have made that list, visualized it, what you want. You've already begun a powerful force. You've already begun to engage the universe in helping you bring you what you want. There are moments that you are perfect, that more perfect than others. There are moments that are more perfect than others to initiate action, to make the phone call, to finish the task. Untimely action will not get the job done any sooner. It will simply waste your energy and send you back to sea, waiting for the right wave. Focus on your goal, master all your forces, and head out to sea. Then wait patiently for the right moment, the right time, for the right energy and the right wave. The right wave will come when it does. Grab the board, jump on it, and ride it for all it's worth. I like that. In my many classes, learnings, experience, I've taken quite a number of goal setting types of workshops from different various entities, people, and I'm often wonder, well, what am I coming back around for? Why does this keep popping up? It's like anything else. You know, your clothes have to be laundered, dried for you to wear them again. It's the same thing. When you find, as you will, the decades of growth that go by, lots of these lessons repeat themselves, pop back up. And there are two ways. The ego says, oh, I don't need to know this, I've already got that. And then the enlightened one says, oh, I can take what I learned the last time and discover something additional from it, something else that might emerge. Or perhaps this lessons come back to land deeper, to be more sure-footed. And there's your two choices. Repeating something, going through a cycle, isn't exactly the same the second time you do it, because you're not exactly the same. So as you go through transformation this time, because we have the universe speeding us up, moving us forward in the world of accepting what is and what isn't, and embracing what is to be even when we don't know the outcome. The more of that we embrace and accept and move forward with, the easier the next section of transformations will happen. It is so much easier to say, okay, let's see where this goes and just do it, even if each step along the journey has not been planned out. I spent many years when I was working for a company and was often asked, what's the nature of the program? You need to tell us what you're going to talk about, what you're going to be doing. You need to go through the lesson plan. You need to say what we're going to be doing at what time. Very predictable, very on point. Very should be here at this time, should be there at those times. We should be wrapping up around this time. Everything was timed. And then corporate America became that way, or at least I felt like it was. You take your car in for a service. The diagnostic should take this long. The conversation with the client or the customer should take that long. And every single service was all slotted into the place that it takes time to do. There was a company I worked for at one point many years ago that did that with hair. It should take this long to wash, this long to dry, this long to cut, this long to color. It was a process, a conveyor belt, a unit of measure. In fact, one time I remember being aghast at how what I believed was service became just contractual exchange of money. There was no service. It was, this is what you want, this is what you've got, pay for it, boom, boom, bye. And then I went through the whole part of my career where a percentage of what you did in service had to be retail, had to be sold, whether the person wanted it or not. There was an expectation that 15% or 12 to 15% of the first service ticket was going to be retail. And for a while, I went along with that model because it didn't seem to be any other alternative. Nobody was listening to anything else. And then I landed on the fact that, well, this consumer went in for the perception of haircut A. And in their mind, the consumer budgeted for haircut A and then was oversold other services plus retail and a bag full of products they go out the door with. I'm up for recommendations for sure. I'm up for anything that will improve something for somebody else for sure. But I'm also respectful of the boundaries that that brings with it. I'd rather have someone who will return because they like the service, they like the individuality, they like what they're getting, they like how they're feeling, they like the environment. Yes, there's a level of comfort. There's also a level of, you provided me with a service I feel looks valuable, you should be compensated. And for me, I can finish what I'm doing saying, you know, I was handsomely compensated, but I also provided a good service. Those are ways I land what this reading is, the change we're going into. All right, my friends, it is time to meditate. So, feet flat on the floor, eyes closed, big breath in, clear the space on the inside and let it flow out. Allow your mind and your thoughts to settle. Bring your mind to the soles of your feet. Allow the energy to travel up through your leg muscles, your leg bones, into your hips. Move up to your mid-back, your shoulders, and your head. Scan your body for anything that is tight. And breathe into those areas. Let your whole body settle into deep relaxation. With every exhale, relax deeper. Let's do our prayer of protection. Thank you, Archangel Michael and the Ascended Masters, for reminding us that you're present, and thank you for cutting the ties that bind us to people, places, situations, stories, nonsense, rubbish, and anything else that no longer serves our purpose. I declare that I am safe and free, so it is and so shall it be. I am the keeper of my mind and my body. Wherever love is flowing, fear is a stranger. Love is flowing here within me. And create a sense of gratitude. Bring your mind to your third eye center, that area right between your eyebrows. And be in the experience of whatever colors you see. Allow the color to come towards you, wash over you, be around you. And it can be more than one color. You can find the edges of the color tinged with something else. You can find more than 2 or 3 colors merging and working together. Just be in the experience of this is vibrational energy coming from source, from the highest source, moving to you and through you, expanding out from you. Listen to what you hear, whether it's physical or the inner hearing, the messages, the words, the ideas. Allow them to float in. Know that they're for your highest good. Listen to any response that you yourself have to the messages you hear. Just be in the acceptance of the message and the response. You are the catalyst. Part of your being has the capacity and the wisdom to feel beyond the physical feeling, to hear beyond the physical hearing. Use this meditation to deepen your connection with your guardian angel, the expanded entities that are here, revealing themselves to you as you are revealing yourselves to them. As your physical being relaxes deeper, deeper state of consciousness, your intuitive senses, your psychic senses, your ability to communicate, to expand on a vibrational level increases. Allow all the messages you are receiving to land in the center of your chest. Allow any visualizations that you see, images of people known and unknown, in physical life or past. Allow this opportunity to feel joyful, happy, contented, easeful. Anytime you feel the need to drift off into physical form, bring yourself back to the present moment by breathing. You're now in a state of deep and complete relaxation. There is nothing to fix. nowhere to go, just peace, joy, relaxation, happiness, understanding, acceptance, love, bliss. Allow yourself to vibrate with the loving light of the great Creator. Allow the white light, the golden light of Father Heaven to work to you and through you. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. May the light that was within you move through you. May everything before you be for your highest good and the highest good of all those who know you. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center, and together we bow and say Namaste. Sometimes the act of meditation is that simple. The ability to go within yourself to push away the physical jostling of things to do and people to see and tasks to accomplish. Do the tasks and do them well. Do many tasks and you might not do any of them well. Listen, have a wonderful Easter Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Lots of love. See you tomorrow. Bye.